Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Talkin' Habs, Saturday Hockey Talk Live, where we talk about anything and everything Habs, hockey, and life, with your host, Rick Selly. Go Habs, go, and let's talk hockey. The road to the 25th Cup is under construction. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for... Oops, that was on loop. Sorry about that. Hey, everybody. I'm Rick.
I'm Matt.
And welcome to Talkin' Habs, where you get your daily fix of Blue, Blanc, Rouge. It is Saturday Hockey Talk. We are, 5 days before the draft? Finally getting here. So we can solve the controversy of who's going to get picked first overall. Not a lot of people here, but bullshit story. In my opinion, this is a bullshit story. I can't remember where I got this from. Some stupid place. Canadians reportedly haven't settled on a decision for number one pick. I find that really hard to believe that they're not at a place where they know who they're going for already. Yeah, I find that really hard to believe. So either that's just a bullshit story for clickbait, or they're telling that to reporters, but they know who they're going for. I don't see what else could come out now that could change their mind on somebody at this point. I don't see what. So, right? Wouldn't you think? They've got all their research done. They know who they're picking.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%. And I think it has to be right. I know everyone's now kind of throwing in Slavkovsky, but it just doesn't make sense.
It's going to be Shane Wright.
You need to lock down, probably the most important position to lock down right now in terms of the rebuild. You take Shane Wright, and I've said it before. Then you 1 and 2C are locked up for the next 10 years.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about it. It's a no-brainer in my opinion.
If Slavkovsky really was rated head and shoulders above Wright,
right?
That's a different story, but they're rated neck and neck. There's not even a hair to put in between them as far as talent level. And in that case, you go with the position or the need that's more prevalent on the team. And it's center. The need is bigger. Anyway, I did a video yesterday. It was about the weakest and the strongest and weakest positions by position on the Habs. And I think it made a good point to where they're going to go with their pick in that video. So check it out. It's out there. Hey, Harry Rice, how you doing, man? Habs Guru Kenny B, whose avatar doesn't want to show. I don't know. That's weird. Born to be a Hab. Make the right choice. No pun intended. Ronald. Hey, Ronald. Stan the man. They have to keep it exciting before the draft. Well, that's it. They're not going to say. They're just not going to say. And I guess the easiest thing for them to do is say, well, we haven't decided yet. The Price is Right. That would be a great promo. You saying The Price is Right. I think everybody uses that. But it's true. It's kind of made for that. All right. So we're just going to talk about I got nothing prepared. So whatever you guys want to talk about, anything from the draft, whatever, we're here. Question us. Put that spotlight on us and question us, and we will answer to the best of our abilities. So there's no Stanley Cup game, so that's always good for people coming into the room. So hopefully we'll draw some people. And you guys, there's 7 people here. Ask away. We're just going to stay here until someone asks us a question. We're not saying it. That's it. That's really boring if someone comes in here. They're going to want to stick around. I have nothing much prepared.
There wasn't really any big news throughout the day either.
No, there's not much. I was expecting, it seemed like there was going to maybe be a trade. But it doesn't seem like there was any trades made. And there was potential for Montreal to be involved, but I didn't see anything. So
yeah, I haven't really seen anything really newsworthy.
It's Canada Day weekend. We're not going to be talking politics here tonight. So let's nobody be doing that because I'm not going to engage on that. Do I think the Habs will trade up for the 5th pick and get Cutter Gauthier? Well, I did a video about trading up, and I actually said there were at that point, Bob McKenzie's list hadn't come out, and I thought that more than likely a defenseman is going to go there. I don't see the need for Montreal to trade up into there and try to go. But since then, although in the video I did mention Cutter Gauthier a couple of times, and that that would be a great if you can get Slavkovsky. Cutter Gauthier, Connor Geeky, kind of very similar guys, right? So now Gauthier is literally up in the middle of the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
He finished in the top 25 in most of the fitness tests at the combine. So this guy's probably in pretty good shape. I have this feeling about Cutter Gauthier, and I wouldn't be surprised if Montreal actually does move up there. And that's the player that they choose there. Mm-hmm. Hey, Tario forgot your name. He just wrote, hi, Rick, and fill in the blank. Ronald, so since Shea Weber is no longer on the team, would Montreal retire the number 6 for Toe Blake or no? Well, they haven't yet. I mean, I did a video about this 3 years ago, but they haven't yet. So, yeah, I mean, I doubt there's any push for that right now, so I'd say no. Who's the next guy traded in Montreal? I mean, it's a good question.
We know at some point this offseason Petry's going.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of when.
Hasn't happened yet. I'm wondering if it will before the draft. So, we're going to find out at the draft, I have a feeling. Yeah.
I mean, Dadonov's a candidate out there, too. Could be moved at the draft.
I'm going to throw out a name. Mike Hoffman.
Yeah, he's been mentioned a little bit as a player that teams have been calling the Canadians about.
Well, I think there's teams that would be interested in acquiring Hoffman. Listen, you may have to hold $500,000. But I can see Mike Hoffman being the next guy moved. I can also see Mike Hoffman not being moved. So it's really kind of hard to say. But, yeah, I mean, that's the guy I'm throwing out there. Matt, you throwing any name out there? No?
Yeah, well, like I said before you brought up Hoffman, I think Dadonov is a name that could be moved at the deadline, perhaps.
Yeah, it's funny because when they got Dadonov, I said it in the video announcing it. I don't think he'll play a game for Montreal. I'm not so sure now. I'll be honest with you. I'm not so sure now.
I'm fine either way. I think Dadonov. I mean, you can pencil him in for probably 20 goals, 15 assists.
Yeah, I mean, Dadonov could be, one of those veterans. They got him for 1 year at $5 million. They could probably swing that. He's a veteran. He's a guy that could help some of these young guys for a season. The way I heard Hughes talk about it, which doesn't really mean anything, seems like they might have plans to keep him for the 1 year. So I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Like I said, I wouldn't, either way. I wouldn't mind it. I think you keep him. Like I said, I think you pencil him in for 20 goals, 15 assists, and
pretty much. I mean, it's going to get you, 40 points, probably, something like that, depending on where in the lineup he plays. Born to be a Hab, hey buddy. It says he says it would be awesome if the Habs could get another top 15 pick, Petry in a second rounder for a top 15 pick. I would think they're trying, They might not even only be trying to move that 26 pick up, but trying to actually acquire another pick, a third pick in the first round. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely – because I would think they're got to be targeting in the top 10, though. I would think they'd be hoping to get higher than 15. But, hey, the higher you get, the better. H2O, how's it going? It's been a while. What's going on? Haven't seen you all in ages. No, it's been a while. Happy Canada Day, buddy. Having scotch on the rocks. My question on that is, are you sitting on top of some rocks having scotch, or is it with ice? Would Montreal retire the number 31 for Carey Price after he retires? They won't do it before he retires. This I can tell you. They're not going to say, "Hey, Carey, here's your new number. We retired your number."
No, I think it's a shoo-in.
I don't. I'm kind of thinking, because I did a video, the Toe Blake video, as a matter of fact. I think they should go from retiring numbers to honoring the player with his sweater, but just honoring the player's name on the back of that sweater and not having to retire the number. And I think that, to me, makes more sense going forward. It's a good possibility Price would be in that category. Montreal's got a lot of retired numbers.
Yeah, they're kind of in the same boat as the Celtics. They're gonna run out of numbers.
They're going to run out of lower numbers if they do that. So I kind of think, I don't know, maybe that's why we haven't seen one in a while. But
I mean, I it wouldn't shock me. Like I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all if his number gets retired.
Listen, you know what's more important than retiring just the number? I mean, it's that name on the back, right? Number is a number.
Yeah.
But the name is more important. So you put up the name and the number, whatever, but the number doesn't have to get retired. It's just the honor. And I think that is where all teams should probably go going forward. Or else we're going to end up with 3-digit numbers, man. Imagine number 105 for the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, that just sounds too ridiculous. That's me. I don't even know. Where was I? Yeah. Why did Bettman not present the cup?
COVID. He had COVID.
I actually heard that it was a maintenance day and he was down there getting fixed up. That's what I heard. No, they said COVID, but okay. I heard that he was heard saying his team was out, so now he was going for Tampa. Wait. Oh, you're talking about Bettman said that? I didn't hear any of that. Time to look into Bettman and get rid of him if he's betting on hockey. But they're promoting betting on hockey. So, and listen, Bettman bet on hockey. I don't see how he's fixing. Well, I do see how he's doing it through the refs, but other than that, I don't see how he's fixing hockey.
I mean, it's also in his name, though.
Yeah, it's true. It goes with his name. But he said that he isn't going anywhere as far as having them replace him. No, he's staying as long as he can. Who's going to be better on left wing, Roy or Farrell? Hang on. 1 second. No, I can't find it. I misplaced my my crystal ball. I can't really tell you. But if I had it, I could really tell you. No, listen, I mean, how do we know? There's no way to know. Both kids, super talented. And it's hard to tell at that age, right? So till they come out and play in the NHL and we see what they're like in the NHL, I don't know.
Although I will say, Watt has been putting up some spectacular numbers. So, I mean, I guess if you just want to go off numbers alone, maybe Watt, but I agree. I think it's just too early to tell.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. It's hard to compare those two leagues to say the numbers, this numbers or that numbers, If they were both in the same league, different story. But it's kind of hard from college and the QMJHL, very different. No, I think well, Farrell won't be here this year to play in camp or anything like that because he's in college. So we'll see Joshua Roy in camp this year. Without a doubt, I believe they're going to give him every opportunity to make the jump. If he's ready, I believe they'll let him make the jump. So we'll have to see. But, I mean, only time will tell for something like that. Hey, Tony. My pick is Shane Wright. He looks good in a Habs jersey, and he's got more of an all-around game. And he's a center, and he'll solidify the middle of the ice, and that's a really important spot. And as I was just saying earlier, if Slavkovsky was that much better than Wright, okay, I agree, go with Slavkovsky, but it's not the case. Go with the center.
Right, and we've talked about this, on here before, but center is probably one of the toughest positions to trade for. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
If you can solidify, down the middle through the draft, especially, with where we are now, you can do it because wingers, Wingers are a pretty plentiful commodity. You can go out and you can trade for a winger. They're not
And
hard to
Montreal's
come by.
got wingers. Like Montreal's got wingers. They've got guys that can be there in place on the wing. They don't need to reach out for Slafkovsky as a need like they have for center. And since both guys, you put them on a scale of talent, they're right there together, the same. They can't budge each other, and you reach out for the one you need, and that is Shane Wright. That's how I look at it. Need a wall of heroes, not retire the number. Yeah, well, that's basically what I'm saying though, Baby, is honor the player with his jersey. It's just not retired so that other guys can wear the jersey. I don't think anything's wrong with that. Now that Bonus is likely gone to Winnipeg and Nazarene to Dallas, who are some candidates for assistants? First of all, I did read about Bonus was not looking to be an assistant on a rebuilding team at all. Said he would rather not coach again if he was going to have. He was not taking a job on a rebuilding team, so he was not coming here. I don't think. Now, was that report 100% accurate? I don't know, but I did read this. I don't know. Mark Recchi? There's a lot of talk about Mark Recchi being an assistant here. I think it's because he wants to taste all of the players' cheeks with his tongue.
I think you're confusing him with Brad Marchand.
No, Mark Recchi was licking people as well.
Oh.
In the last,
let me know where Brad learned it from.
Oh, the last time Boston, Vancouver, that was 2010. That playoffs, he was licking
2011.
people. 2011, he was licking people. That fucker. Oh, did I say that? Ooh, I didn't mean to.
Alex Burrows was biting people.
Yeah. So I don't know. Mark Recchi's really the only
I wonder how Recchi and Burrows would get along on the bench.
Who?
That'd be funny. Speaking of Alex Burrows.
Oh, why? It's 10 years ago. It's 11 years ago.
Yeah, but Burrows was biting people at that same
Yeah,
time.
they'd be over it by now.
Oh, yeah.
I got a question for everybody out there. Is any of us lagging? Are we lagging? I was having a little lag problem going into the live stream. I'm just noticing myself and Matt. Well, it looks like I'm talking and Matt was like not on time with me. Anybody else noticing this? Just curious, because it could be just my computer. But since my computer is running the whole show right now, I'm worried it might be lag. Anyway, moving on. To both of you, if you were the NHL commissioner, what would you change and why? What would I change? What would you change? I know. I know. No more gambling on hockey. All those contracts with the gambling all gone. I would get rid of all of that and have some respectability back to the NHL. Matt's lost in thought. We'll wait. No, we'll wait. No, it's not a problem.
No, God, I don't even know.
I would overhaul the refereeing system.
That's what I was leaning towards. Yeah,
I would
find a way to hold them accountable.
I would
basically don't be a pussy when the ref. When people are asking questions about the refs.
I would make them have to answer.
Yeah.
All the reporters' questions at the end of every game.
I'd eliminate fines if a coach, at the end of a game.
There were things like that I would do. I would change if I could. I don't know if that commissioner has the power to, but I would change the shootout and get rid of the shootout and go with a 10-minute overtime. And if there's no winner, then guess what, boys? We have a tie. I go back to having tie games. Hey, we came up with a few of them. Not too bad.
No, not too bad at all.
Why is Bob McKenzie picked Slav over Wright? I think the best answer to that is that I don't have a freaking clue. The thing is, I'm going to cough for a second. It's the consensus of everywhere that I've read that the difference between Slafkovsky and Wright is seen as razor thin. Razor thin. And you could even say Cooley right in behind that. Then there's a bit of separation from what I'm reading, a little bit, not much, but a little bit. But between 1 and 2, it's like pick 'em, toss. It's a toss up, whatever, So, for just because Slafkovsky is listed over Wright on that list doesn't mean much at all. So, everybody's going, well, look at Bob McKenzie's list. Slafkovsky is there first. Yeah, okay. If you need a left winger, and is he a left or a right wing?
The right wing, I believe.
I've seen it listed both, and some really good places have him at left.
Play both, but I think he's a natural right winger.
He's a left shot though. Oh. I know it's confusing, and Caufield plays both. Caufield played more left wing than he played right wing this past year. Anyways. If you're if right wing or left wing is what you really need, yeah, sure, draft Slafkovsky. It's just not what we really need. What we really need is his size. But I'm sorry to say, size isn't the only reason that you should draft somebody. If that's your big reason for drafting somebody, you're making a mistake. So the right guy here is, no pun intended, is Shane Wright, and I don't see how, like Matt said earlier, I don't even have word for it how I would feel if they took Slafkovsky. Shocked isn't. There's no word for how surprised I would be.
I'd probably sit here speechless, and that's rare. But I wouldn't know what to say.
I wouldn't know what to do.
It's not like if we're sitting here next year, then I mean it's Connor Bedard. I mean it's just not close. It's just not close. But.
Well, I feel the same for this one, even though the two players are close. But the point is, your need isn't that wing. So, with that real desperate need for that number 2 center to be strong down the middle, and then the guy's right there in front of you to pick, why would you go for another position if the guy's not better than the center? Mm-hmm. It doesn't make any sense. So Montreal wants everybody to think they haven't decided and all that because they want the buildup and they want, and plus from what the newest thing out there is that New Jersey is convinced Montreal is going to pick Slafkovsky and it kind of wants to trade, or that they might pick that, wants to trade 1 and 2 and flip them, give Montreal something extra so they can take Slafkovsky first. I worry about that, but they don't really have a need for a center. So I don't see why they would do that to get Shane Wright. It doesn't make sense. They really would like Slafkovsky. So, that's something I wouldn't be surprised if he does, even though it's in Montreal. But if they can get a really good piece from New Jersey to flip those picks, why not? I don't think Shane Wright's going to like that too much because he wants to go number 1, but if New Jersey gets the number 1 pick, they're not picking Shane Wright.
No.
That I would guarantee. And for everybody out there that says take Shane Wright and then go after Pierre-Luc Dubois, no, don't take Shane Wright. Take Slafkovsky, go after Pierre-Luc Dubois. They can't afford Pierre-Luc Dubois. They can't. And you got to trade to get him now. He's not a free agent till after.
He's another wing.
No, he's a center. Well, but they converted to the wing in Winnipeg. Why, I don't know, but I guess.
But that's what I mean. They'd basically be bringing in another wing, though, unless they wanted to move back to center.
Even if they move him back to center and they bring him in, that's a $7 million center. You're bringing in a $7 million
on the second line too.
Player,
he's not going to unseat Nick Suzuki.
No, so I don't see how it makes sense for anybody thinking Pierre-Luc Dubois is coming. I don't see him coming here. Can Dadonov eclipse 60 points with the Habs this season? I really doubt that. And it's not a knock on Dadonov. I don't see that kind of offense coming out of him on this team.
No, he's like a 40 to.
I'd say 40 and 50.
30, yeah.
If he's going to have that kind of year,
I'd say 35 to 50 because I think.
Well, he had 43 last season,
but I think he's.
No, he had 43 last year. Yeah. He had 43 last year. I don't see why he can't do that. 60, no. Maybe he'll have Gus up of 50 on a full season, but I don't see 60 points. But that's fine. He doesn't need to get that.
I know. I'm feeling 25. If he plays, probably 25-ish goals, 20 assists, somewhere around there.
Probably the opposite, probably 20, 25, because he had 20 goals, 23 assists last year.
Yeah.
How many
right
points did
around
Dadonov get with the Sens? I don't have no idea how much he got with the Sens. He had some good seasons, though. I'll say he had, I think, 1 year of 65 points. He's had those kind of numbers. I just don't. He's not a young kid. Remember he came here. He was already in his mid-20s. So this is not a young guy.
Pretty sure he's 28.
No, I wanna say 31, but I don't. I want to say 31. I looked up and I was he played in Russia for a few years.
Oh, yeah,
before he came over. Yeah, he's not a young kid. So he had some good seasons, but I don't know if they were here though. He might have been in the KHL. I'm not 100% sure. Have you got his numbers there?
But
he'll put up 40, 45 points. You got pretty sure.
Yeah. I'd pencil him in 40, 45.
That's what I think he's going to end up doing. Hang on a second. I had to drink some.
Yeah, he had 20 goals, 23 assists last year. Let's see.
For Vegas, even though Vegas tried to trade him, and it didn't work out. Let me scroll a little bit because he
had 13 goals and 7 assists with Ottawa. Yeah, he had 70 points in a season with the Panthers, 2019. Yeah. No, all his let's see.
He can put up some decent points. I mean, he's not gonna break the bank type of points, but he can play.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 20, 25 goals, 25 assists, right around there. That's what I'd pencil him in for.
John Wayne says that, and is it John Wayne or Marion Morrison? I'm not sure what you're going by, but we have Joshua Roy, Jan Mysak coming up, Ilonen, Harvey Pinard, Luke Tuck in the NCAA. The power forward mold, we need a top 6 center. Dvorak is not a top 6. Not ideally. I would tend to agree with you. I would love to see Suzuki, Wright, Dvorak. That Dvorak as a number 3 center should do really well. Sean Farrell, well, he's in college. I don't think we see Farrell for another 2. And Riley Kidney, I mean, same thing. Riley Kidney's 18. He could make the jump, but he'd have to play in Montreal. He couldn't play for Laval. After next season, we'll see. John Wayne, that's exactly it. I mean, I did a video, and if you're looking at a top 6 center, the only one in the organization is Nick Suzuki. So if they want a second one, they got to go outside of the organization to get one. If you have an opportunity to do that this year, you don't need the winger. Why would you reach for the winger when you need that center? It doesn't make any sense. People that are thinking it's going to be Slavkovsky at 1. Mm-hmm. Does Farrell shout? What? Shoot? Or left or right? I don't know what. I see underneath you did it. I don't know what Farrell shoots. I kind of think he's a left shot. Well, John Wynn answered it. Yeah, John answered it. He says that too. I am on time. Yes, I'm on time. I'm picking right, and Geeky is a sleeper. I like Geeky as well. If you're not going to get Cutter Gauthier reached out, you might stay a little higher up if you're moving up. And I could see them targeting Geeky around 11, 12, 13, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. I could see that because Geeky, another guy that, if you're not getting Slavkovsky, Gauthier and Geeky are kind of very similar to that. So, and cost you less to get it. Bay from when we were saying what we would do if we were in commission, retrain all officials, fire them all, bring in new ones. Tony sees Farrell as a future second or third line left wing. Yeah, I mean, it depends on. Listen, he's a smaller guy, loaded with talent, but you never know till, especially with the smaller guys, till they get here. So it's a big unknown. But the guy's loaded with talent. Yeah, I heard Bobby Margarita, who is Bob McKenzie, capped the DUI charge. I didn't hear that.
I did not, but that's not good if it's true.
Stan the Man, I would not change the points the way you have them there. I would have it very simple. 2 points for a win, 1 point each for a tie. Simple.
Nothing for an OT loss?
Well, why would you get something for an OT loss? You lost.
That's true.
I'm sorry, a bit old-fashioned there. Just because you went to OT, I don't think you need to get a point for that. I don't. I know we get them now, so when I say, oh, well, at least we got that, well, we get them now. So, if you stop getting them, then I wouldn't be saying that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think you need more than that. 2 points for a win, 1 point each for a tie. Because otherwise, you haven't changed anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't like giving 3 points for a win. I don't like giving 3 points for a win. So I'm not giving 3 points because they won in regulation.
I'm on the fence with the shootout. I don't know. I don't know if I get rid of it right away. Because I don't know. Sometimes I don't mind it. Oh.
I'd rather the extra 5 minutes of 3-on-3 overtime. Personally.
It'd be cool.
And then the only reason you have to have the tie, because otherwise you still then got to go to a shootout if it's not. So at some point, it's either a shootout to decide it or there's a tie. Mm-hmm. And, I grew up with ties, so they don't bother me. I know a lot of you younger guys, I guess, don't remember it as much, but, I grew up with it, so. Nothing wrong with a tie. Problem, I think, though, with the ties is what 1 year one team had so many ties. And sometimes, guys will get in, teams will get into the playoffs based on that. But then teams will get into the playoffs based on the loser points. So I don't see that it's better. It was kind of like a change for change's sake. That's why they did it. John Wayne, I would hope that one of those two guys, Joshua Roy or Farrell, will be not considered a top 9, but a top 6. Right? And then, which I think will be Joshua Roy. And then Farrell, I don't know. I think Farrell, I don't have a good feel for him, but I really think the kid's got a lot of talent, which I said when they drafted him. I didn't know him but I checked into him, and I liked what I saw from this kid and just felt like this kid will be an NHLer. I just don't know with his size. The problem is size there, which you can never tell with smaller guys until they get here.
Mm-hmm.
One of the officials is being investigated for money. $50,000 in his bank just before playoffs, and he did all series. Is his name Chris Lee? Please tell me it's Chris Lee. Hey, Darth Master. Is Montreal drafting Slavkovsky? No, they will not. Kelly Sutherland. Did never. Montreal does not have a good record when Kelly Sutherland's reffing. Not a ref that likes Montreal. So good for him for getting busted for something. Tony with the left shots. Yeah, was that on deep? I forget. No, up front. Well, yeah. I mean, you got to kind of balance it out. I guess ideally, right, left and right wing should have shoot from different sides.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Nation, I saw that today. The Rangers are looking for a number 2 center, and have a winger to trade, but we don't have a number 2 center to trade.
Oh, excuse me.
I never heard of Jordan Dumais, so I don't know much about him. Whoa! Run out of what do you mean by run out of draft? I have no idea what that means. This Dumais guy's ranked late, second or third. Yeah, I don't know much about guys up there really. Have a Nation thinks Dubois is better than Suzuki. Dubois, I don't believe that. Dubois is bigger than Suzuki. I don't know that Dubois is better than Suzuki. He may be, like, you could say it right now at the moment he is. But also, Dubois is a couple years ahead of Suzuki. Suzuki has room to be better than Dubois.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe he's better. I think this year, anyway, this season coming up, I don't think you're going to be able to say Dubois is better than Suzuki. Because I expect another step forward from Nick.
I agree with that.
And if he takes a step forward, he's going to pass Dubois on the point side.
Mm-hmm.
I think this season he already did. I don't think Dubois scored 60-plus points. I don't think so.
I agree.
Tony wants them to trade up and take a gamble on Savoie. Matthew Savoie. You know, the problem again with Savoie, it's size. We have a number of small guys in the organization already. If we keep drafting more, it's going to be a problem again here in Montreal. And it has been for many years. Montreal's always been small. We got to get away from that. I'm not saying no small guys, but we have a few here already that, you know, I don't know that you can bring in so many. But I guess if you're drafting Savoie, he's not NHL ready. But I don't know if I want to draft another small guy another small guy and then do that in the first round. I don't know. That's my opinion, though.
Yeah, I agree. I think we got if you're gonna draft someone else in the first round, if you trade in, I think you have to go with try to get to like a Cutter Gauthier, some because you're right. I think we're too small in
yeah
in the pipeline right now. I mean, there is some size, but that's mostly on the defensive side of our prospect pool. Forward wise, they're pretty small. So yeah,
you need at least one big guy on each line. If you're going to carry one or two small guys on each line, you need one big guy to counteract that. At the very minimum, Montreal's just starting to get to be a decent sized team. I have nothing against small guys, but you can't have too many. You can't have too many.
Mm-hmm.
Can't stress that enough. But I mean, Savoie, from what I've read, seems like a good talent, but not a guy that's going to be ready right away. Which, I mean, of course, stupid thing to say. Most of the guys drafted Thursday aren't going to be ready right away.
Mm-hmm.
Where was I? They will draft right and go for Dubois, offer Dvorak, and more to. I'm not sure what that word is. Einaped. For Dubois, Suzuki, Caufield, Drouin, Dadonov, right, Anderson is top 6. No, I think anybody thinking Dubois is coming in, Dubois is not coming in. First of all, Dubois, you got to trade for right now. You got to trade for him because he's not a free agent until after next season. Am I right?
Right, and I'm not comfortable trading because you're gonna have to give up a lot. And I'm just, if we're in a rebuild, I'm not comfortable giving up a lot for someone who might not even stay with the team.
Those kind of assets, when you want to get assets, you don't want to give them up. And it's a good point, right? Because he's not a free agent until
Because
after next
if you don't
season.
have a commitment that he's gonna, okay, yeah, trade. If Montreal trades for me, yeah, I'll sign a 5-year whatever extension. Unless you have that commitment, I don't think you touch him because you
And
can't.
then how much is that going to cost you?
Right, and at that point, he's a rental. He's the type of guy that you would trade for at like the deadline if you're going on a cup run or something, or if you're
Right.
like at that space where okay, we're competitive. We need like one more piece and we're there. Then
And listen,
okay, yeah, then I'll say go get him. But
even then, because you might think
it's
about
not
it, because
worth
you're
it
going to
right
have to
now.
give up a lot to get him, and you don't know where he's going to go. Like, he might not want to stay. I dare to say he probably would if he was traded to Montreal, but
No, but
like
you
you
can't
said, no
take that chance in
guarantee.
a rebuild.
And he's going to be expensive. He's going to want 7 years, 7 million in that area, I would
Yeah,
think, right?
and
So,
that's what Caufield's going to get that. So, and then at that
yep.
point, you bring in Dubois and give him that. Then you're in. Now you're the Toronto Maple Leafs, except $4 million
That
cheaper for each
right.
guy.
Yeah, everyone's got to remember they've got to sign Caufield in the next somewhere early in this, like when the season starts, somewhere pretty much a month or two after that. I
I'd
expect
like to get it done before Christmas, if
by
that's
Christmas.
possible.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good timeline. And he's going to get some money, so you got to have money for that. You've got other guys. Romanov absolutely needs a contract going into next season. We can't afford Dubois. We don't have the cap space for that. So I don't know where that money's coming from for anybody wanting Dubois.
and I also saw I watched the Hockey Junkie actually put out a video about a trade for Dubois, and one of
That's
the
what his video. Okay, I didn't see it.
I think if I remember correctly,
It
I think
was
it
a
was
trade
Dubois.
talk video. I saw it. I got notified. I didn't watch it though.
And one of the assets going back from the Canadians was Caden Gooley, and I laughed. I was like, "You're out
I
of your
see that
goddamn
too.
mind. You're out of your
Anybody,
mind if you think Caden Gooley's leaving the Canadians. You're just
yeah,
you're insane. I mean,
it's
you're insane."
yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Hey, Harry Rice. Right is the obvious number one. The only reason people are saying Slavkovsky is number one now is because Montreal is drafting, and Toronto media don't want the Habs to be a good team. I like Dadonov for 25 goals on our second line. If you play him with Dvorak or Wright, even Drouin, if you play Dadonov on the right wing, could score 30 plus even. You're forgetting Dadonov is 33. So I'm not saying he wasn't a player that could do that. He's at that age where we don't know really 100%. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to put him up like that, but I figure, 40 points out of Dadonov this season is definitely.
Yeah, I think 20 and 20. I think is more than than reasonable ask.
Somewhere in that ballpark, yeah. I think that's what I would be looking at for him personally. What day is the draft exactly? It is exactly the day that's in between Wednesday and Friday, and it's right exactly in between Wednesday and Friday. I don't know if I can be more specific than that, Lucas. Yeah, it's on Thursday. And Friday, though, there's the second part of it. Like all the other rounds are on Friday. First round's on Thursday. Lucas honestly loves the shootout. You're allowed. It's just me. I'm not. I mean, it's okay. It's just I think we've had enough of it personally.
Babe, I don't mean we're gonna be the Maple. I'm just saying if you bring in Dubois and then we'd have 3 guys making over $7 million. You get into that trouble that they're in right now, where you have 4 guys making a crap ton of money and no money to do anything else. That's what I meant by that.
My video yesterday on the right side, if you take Caufield out, say because he's probably I don't know where he's playing, but Anderson 5.5, Dadonov 5 million, Gallagher 6.5, and Armia 3.4. That's 21.9 million or 20.9 million. That's too much right there. for 4 guys on the right side. So you can't have 4 guys anywhere you put them in the lineup. You can't have 4 guys that make that kind of money. Now, the money I just talked about is not crippling money, but you still can. It's still too expensive for one position.
And you add in Dubois, and that number goes up to close to $30 million. And like I said, then you get into the cap trouble that the Leafs are in because they have 4 guys all making over $10 million.
Yeah, you can't do it.
Because who thought that was a good idea? I don't know. That's why they're the Maple Leafs. They're dumb. They make those decisions. We don't.
Exactly. Baby, what do you mean by 3-2-1 messed up Memorial Cup? That's points? Well, the St. John Sea Dogs won. Didn't they? St. John Sea Dogs won the cup? And they were the host team, so they weren't the team that earned their way in.
And then also just kind of going, because it just rang in my head, but going back to that point about wingers making too much, and you get Drouin making $5.5 million.
On the other side.
And he's only playing 30 games.
And on that other side, you got Mike Hoffman making 4.5 and Paul Byron making 3.4. And again, too much. You got to cut down. That's why they got to move money. They can't take in any money till they move money.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it is. And you know what? I think Hughes has pretty much said exactly that. We've got to move some cap. Don't expect big deals. Don't expect us to be signing big names because they can't afford it.
No, I mean, we have just shy, I think, of $2 million right now to play with. We're gonna need, I think, 3 to 4 for Romanov, and then that's got to be done before the season starts. And then, by next year we're gonna need another 7 or so, between 7 and 8 for Caufield when his extension kicks in. So yeah, I mean, they got to free up. They got to start to free up money.
Mr. Bosifas says, if Vegas gets a cup in the next couple of years, will Weber get a ring? No. He won't, because he wouldn't have played at all, not even in the regular season or at all. So no. Weber's there as a figurehead. I doubt he'll ever go to Vegas. I doubt he'll ever meet the Vegas players. There's no need for it. He's just there as a contract. That's it. So no, he won't get a ring. John Wayne, you are right, except I wouldn't say it that way. He says the only potential top 6 center we have in the system is Riley Kidney. I'm going to say, though, Riley Kidney's a middle 6, so he could be second or third line. I don't see him as a first line center. Could be wrong. I know that, but I don't see it. So I kind of, it's still, if you're talking a 1 and 2, a 1 or a 2, not number 3. Nick Suzuki's it right now. Nick Suzuki is it. Suzuki will be a lot better than Dubois going forward. Yes. Maybe even Evans gets shopped dark horse trade if we do not move Dvorak. Absolutely. But Evans' contract's pretty good. I don't see a reason for them to do it. But, Evans could be put in a package or something if they need to make,
But again, well, I also have a soft spot in my heart for Jake Evans because he played for my favorite NCAA team. But the big thing with that, though, is it's only like $1.5 million. You got to move
1.7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not going to do much in terms of freeing up money. No. You know what I mean? That's not a type of...
You're moving Jake Evans because the team that you're dealing with wants him, and that's what you got to do to make that deal. I don't think you're moving Evans because of money.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, if we can somehow get a team to take Drouin, you got to go for it. That 5.5 has to come off the books. Petrie will go, so that'll be another... What does he make? 6 something? 6 point something million?
6.25.
Yeah. And then, I mean, if I had to pick between Anderson and Gallagher to trade as like another winger, I'd rather hold on to Anderson. But again, it's just, I think we're going to have to move, along with Peach, we're going to have to move another one of those $5.5 to $6 million contracts because we need the money.
There are 6 or 7, maybe even 8 big contracts that could move. They got to move at least 3 of those. I mean, at least 3 of those they got to move, and I'd say half of them have to go. as a minimum. They got to move half because otherwise, where's the cap money coming from? They're almost right up to the cap. In the offseason, you can only go 10% over the cap. It doesn't give you a lot of room to sign guys, bring guys in unless you move out money. So, and Hughes has said it. Don't expect a ton of movement if we can't move out money. Basically said that. So, I mean, that's what they've got to do.
Like I said, I think they have to free up at least 4.5 for Romanov's extension. I think he's worth about that.
They got to make $15 to $20 million of room. Remember,
right in total, but I'm just saying, like at the bare minimum, they got to free up at least 5 so they can fit Romanov.
Think about this: what if the news comes in? Carey Price won't start the season, but he'll be ready, relatively early into the season. They can't go spend his money.
Right?
They can't. First of all, they're not at the cap, so they don't need to put him on LTIR right now, and they can't do it because then when he comes back, they got to move guys around. So Carey Price is going to be a big problem for them with cap and all that. So it's going to be a weird season, and it's hard to predict what they're really going to be able to do until certain things are known. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. But I think along with Petrie, I think Drouin's got to go. I just think, and I've said it a million times, but at $5.5 million, if you're only like, to me, him, Petrie, like I said, if you got to choose between Anderson and Gallagher to move out another contract like that, and I mean, I'd throw Hoffman in there too. That'd be another 4. But I wouldn't, balk at the idea of moving Gallagher because I think Anderson's better long term for the team.
I think the only way they can move Gallagher is you're going to have to retain some money. There's 5 years left on his contract. Retaining money is like out of the question, I think. And therefore, I think that's one of the reasons why they're saying already Gallagher, they're hoping for him to be back and have a bounce back season because they know they can't move it. If they get a deal where someone says, yeah, we want Gallagher, you don't have to hold money, I think they do it.
Yeah, I think so too. And
I don't think
it would suck because I think Gallagher's put his heart and soul into the team, but we're at the point where we are. It's just one of those contracts where you got to move.
It's a rebuild, and this management group does not owe Gallagher anything. That's just the way it is. They're new, and they didn't sign him to that deal, and they don't owe him anything. That's the business part of it. So I just don't think you can move him. You know what, Gallagher, in 2 years, maybe you can move that contract. But if you're not into holding some money, like retaining some salary here for 5 years, I don't see how you move it. I really, really don't. Jean-Paul, do you think we make a big splash with a big trade during the draft? I feel like we should just stay put. We have plenty of draft picks, 3 in the top 33. I do think that's how they'll move up. We'll find out about these moves at the draft. We have too many draft picks. The reason they have so many draft picks, more than likely, is they're planning to make some deals with them. And more than likely, you're going to see that at the draft. So if they draft all their picks, they can't sign them all. They can't. There's too many guys to sign.
Yeah, we got 13, 14 picks?
Yeah, you can't sign that many players every year. You can't. The reason teams get that many usually is to make moves. They want to use
the next year. I think we got another 10 to 12 picks. Yeah,
they're not.
We have 30 something picks in the next.
I honestly think ridiculous. Montreal will make 8, 9, or 10 actual picks from those. I think they're going to move some picks at the draft. Yeah, I think there'll be some wheeling and dealing there, and we won't find out till the draft because I don't think any of these moves. We're this close to the draft. I don't think any of them happen till then. So that's my
agree.
opinion.
And I do want to add one more thing too on that whole kind of Gallagher conversation.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's another guy too with and I know it's because of the way he plays, but just how often he's starting to get injured now too. It's just he's like Drouin. I can't.
Dubois, you talk about. Sense. Yeah, Dubois was out a couple of times, wasn't he?
I'm talking about Gallagher too. I mean, Gallagher's still getting hurt a lot, and it's just like at their cap hits. I just don't know how it makes sense to pay them that kind of money if they're gonna be injured that often. Not saying Gallagher's always injured, but again, he's that type of player where he's gonna be injured. He's gonna, he could miss stretches of games. And
But
it's
they
like,
got no choice but to live with it because they didn't sign him to it, but he is signed to that deal. They got to live with it until they can move that contract out. So, like I said, they have no loyalty to that contract. Believe me, it's just I don't see that they can move it.
Mm-hmm. No, I unfortunately I do agree. But I think they got to find a way to get Drouin out before the season starts. I can't.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
see
gonna.
that happening though. Unfortunately,
I know.
How? Who's gonna take? Who's gonna? No. And listen, Jonathan Drouin can be moved on his talent. I believe that. But the problem is the injury to the wrist and the surgery. He hasn't come back from it. Really, you're going to trade for a guy that makes $5.5 million, and you don't know if that wrist is 100% healthy? That's why I say he can't do it. Do I think Montreal would like to move him? Yes, I do.
Oh, I think it's kind of in that same boat as like you said with Gav. If a team comes up and says they want Drouin and we don't have to retain any money, he's gone like that. I mean, he's got to be. I mean, that's what I would do if I was Kent Hughes. If someone offer comes on my phone and they say they want Drouin, I'm like, done. See ya.
Pretty much at a loss too. I would take a loss on it. I would take a loss if I could. Okay, just for a second, guys, give me 30 seconds and please watch this.
At coolhockey.com, you'll find your favorite team's officially licensed jersey. Blank, pre-sewn, or hand-sewn. Your favorite team, your favorite player's name and number on the back. Or hey, put your own name on the back. Competitive pricing, custom stitching, fast shipping. Coolhockey.com. Tell them Talkin' Habs sent you. Click the link in the description of this video. Coolhockey.com.
Coolhockey.com. My Guy Lafleur shirt. I don't think you can see it there. My Guy Lafleur sweater. I got it there. There is a link in the description. Tell them Talkin' Habs sent you. If you check it out. All right. So where were we talking? What were we talking about? I don't remember. It's been that's how long. No, I'm just bugging you. Yeah, I think they would jump on getting rid of Drouin any second. it would probably not even be a hesitation.
Although this is the last year of his contract, so I guess if we have to bite that bullet for another year.
It's not the end of the world, but I still think
but I'd rather get him out now.
I think they move him now if they could. I just don't think they can. So this is how I look to see Jonathan Drouin moved at the trade deadline. I don't think he can go before that. Even though I did a video recently where I put him in a trade proposal, because that's wishful thinking. But I really don't think they can do anything with that. And but at the trade deadline is a different story. Mm-hmm. As long as he's playing. By the trade deadline, he may be out again. I don't know. It's usually he goes on vacation for a few months.
I feel like we had the same friggin' conversation last year too, like the exact same conversation. If he's healthy at the deadline, he's gone. And what happened?
Hey, sorry, I've been doing this for 3.5 years. I feel that this is the 4th season that we've been saying this about Jonathan Drouin. So this is the 4th opportunity for me to be in that position talking this way, and I think we've done it every year. Hopefully they move on the trade deadline.
I know.
Yeah, we'll see.
They better not be signing. They better not be working on an extension. They better not be. Unless it's for $1 million or $1.5 million, anything over $1.5 million,
right. He can. As long as the money is like okay, you can tolerate the money. That's okay. But yeah,
$1 million, if he wants anything north of $1.5 million, he can kick rocks. He can go. Bye. He's too much of a liability. I can't give him more money than that.
No. Lucas, the reason we haven't signed Romanov, I know everyone's worried about it. Why haven't we signed Romanov? They're going to get an offer sheet. The reason they haven't signed him, and they have no rush to do so, and they probably won't do so till training camp, is he can't be offer sheeted. He's one of those RFAs that section, whatever RFA, cannot be offer sheeted. Montreal does not have to worry about Romy.
They also don't have the money to do it right now.
And this is a good point because they sign Romy now. They're part of that money over the cap for the offseason, right? So I could see them waiting till the last kind of minute to sign Romy because it doesn't push them in directions they don't want to go to move money right now.
Especially if they have a deal, and maybe a deal or two cooked up for the deadline to shed a little bit more money. That way,
right.
If they wanted to sign him early, they can go, all right, we can sign you and we'll still have $1 million, $2 million.
That's different. But I mean, why sign him if you don't have to? You can work out the deal and say, okay, well, we'll sign this then.
Mm-hmm.
It's worked out. But I think that's what's going on there. Whereas for Cole Caufield, you can guarantee this: Cole Caufield will be signed before the end of next season, because they're not going to take that chance with him that some team will make him an offer that he'll go, oh, yeah, I'll sign that, So I expect him to be signed up pretty as quick as they can.
I'm not going through another summer like we did with KK last year, and I'm not doing it. No, not when a team like the Carolina Hurricanes is around. I'm not doing it. Not with Cole Caufield. If he comes out right, and I think before Christmas, I think we agreed it's a good deadline. If he's on pace for what he did, for more than what he did last year, I think that extension's done before Christmas.
For the Habs, day one, if they could sign him day one, makes more sense for them, because if they let him start playing, it's a gamble, right?
Right.
They want him to be having a good season, and if he is, it's going to cost them more the longer they wait. So, I mean, I think Caufield could be signed that first day they're allowed to sign him. I could see them having him locked up on that day.
I could definitely see it too. But like I said, I mean, they could also maybe give him maybe the first month just to make sure he's still on that pace. Not that I'm saying he's going to drop off it. I don't think he is.
I would do that, yeah.
But
I wouldn't wait till
to make sure.
December.
All right,
I wouldn't wait till Christmas though.
Right, but that first month, if he's got 10 goals and 10 assists or something crazy like that, I'm like, all right,
by the end of November,
here's a blank piece of paper. Write down what you want.
By the end of November, we're making that decision on Caufield, because the earlier you can make it, the better. So but they're not going to give that opportunity for a team to come in and do that with Caufield. But Romy, they got all the time they want, man.
And then next off season, I believe it's Jordan Harris is the same exception. He's like that rule, whatever the hell, class RFA. No one can offer sheet him.
That's right. Habby Nation, though, they can only go 10% over the cap in the off season. Doesn't matter if you trade a guy and now you're 10% over. You have to move out money before you can bring another guy. That's all I'm saying. So they can juggle around and everything, but they have to be careful with it, because you don't know what deals are going to come up when. What if you make a deal? Mm-hmm. You're kind of there, and now that deal you really wanted that you couldn't work out, now it's there, and now you can't do it. So you got to be careful. Mm-hmm. It's still a juggling act.
And they need to be cap compliant by the start of the season. They need to make sure that they're safe there as well. Yeah.
Midnight before their first game of the season. So that midnight, the night before, they have to be cap compliant. Next summer, Harris also, if he has a good season. I haven't checked on Harris with his, but yeah, I mean, if that's the case, you kind of want to lock them up. I think it was Bergevin's management team, but I think these guys learned a lesson from that, and they're not going to, take chances.
No, and like I said, Jordan Harris has the same classification that Romanov has this year. He'll have it next year, so no one can offer sheet him.
Then you don't have to worry, Harris. Harris will, there's no worry.
Yeah, it's like 10.2 C. It's something weird. But yeah, he can't be offer sheeted, so at least that's good.
Mark Riley, why can't they give Caufield $7 million? They can give him $7 million. Jared, trade Caufield too small? No. There's no such thing as too small when a guy is putting up the numbers and there's no problem there. And with Caufield, that's the case. Is he too small? He's the proof is in the pudding that he's putting up the numbers so far.
And he's not afraid. He's not intimidated.
Right.
You can see it in the way he plays.
Right. So it's not a question of is he too small? It's a question you can't have too many small players like that on the team. That's what I was saying earlier.
Right. No, you're exactly right.
But I appreciate the question, Jared. I'm not sure if I've seen you in here before, but if I have, but thanks for coming in. Mishak is more of a third line guy than Kidney, in my opinion. Both will play in the NHL. Yeah, but I mean, those guys not in the NHL yet. Hard to say. Mishak, I don't know. I mean, it could be that he's a third line guy. I don't know. Need to see more from him, though. Rems, I see Kidney in a role of third line and second line if there are injuries. Could be that's where he works out, yeah. Honestly, I don't know enough about this kid to really make these comments. That's why I'm not trying. I'm making generic comments. That's the reason.
No, and look, no, but I think I would agree with I don't even remember who
Rems. And a couple other guys, they were saying yes, that third line.
Yeah, I think Riley Kidney definitely has that potential.
Well, that's why. But that's why someone said he's a middle line guy. But no, I think he's a middle six guy. I think Kidney will be exactly like that, either third, maybe a second, but I think more likely a third. But he's in that middle. He's not a first line center, and he's too talented for fourth line.
Yeah, no, I think I absolutely agree with that.
That's what I had said earlier.
Good. It's a nice problem to have when we have this many prospects to talk about. And, you know what I mean? Many prospects.
It's a great problem to have, especially how many years. I mean, our prospects were all dog meat. Like all of them were all dog meat, really.
Yeah, now we got, on a nightly basis, we could probably name, almost 10 that we can talk about that have the potential to be NHL. I mean, it's just awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of good potential here right now. For some reason, Lucas sees Petrie starting the season with us. Yeah, I don't.
No, he's
I think
before the season starts.
Listen, Petrie's asked for the trade. They need to move that money. They're moving that money. And teams will want Petrie. So, they're moving that money. Yep.
Yeah, I think, Philly, he almost went to Philly at the deadline, so I think Philly will be a player there. Detroit, we know is going to be a player there. I mean, I think the deal will get done, but I think you're right. I mean, other than the fact that he did request a trade, that money's got to be moved.
Yeah. Habby Nation, I guess I think I agree with you there. I don't see how you can trade Galley until he has a good start to the season at the very least. Like, I don't see any teams being, knocking on your door, not asking to have salary retained, asking for Galley. I don't see it right now. He's going to have to redeem himself by having a good season next season. Then maybe you can move him, but I don't see it now. Is he in decline? I just, he had a really bad season. I don't know that you can say that he is in decline or he's not in decline at this point, right? If he has another season like that, I think then we can make a judgment. I don't know after one season. I know he takes a beating every night and he's small and all that. But I'm going to just give him the benefit of the doubt here and say not yet to say that he's in decline. Because he could have a bounce back season where he has a really good season. And then what do is he in decline then? No. So give him a shot.
I mean, to me, I'm kind of leaning more towards the side of I think he's kind of on that downward slope.
At the beginning of it, I would lean to there too. I lean there too.
Because I just a lot of his play I saw last year, to me, it just looked like he was showing his age. It
he
just
was
looked
injured.
like he was a little slow.
He had injuries. He said that it's a lot of stuff that I know you guys, the fans, don't know what was going on, but I feel confident because I know what was going on. Mm-hmm. I feel confident I can come back next year because of that. But he said, I understand you guys don't know the situation, but I do, and I feel confident I can come back and have a good season next year. That tells me he was injured, and
wouldn't surprise me. He's injured kind of often. I wouldn't say it's extremely often, but it's definitely kind of concerning.
It was something that was all season, and he couldn't get over during the season.
Yeah, because to me, and I know I don't know if I mentioned it really here at all, but to me, there were a lot of points last year where I was just looking and watching him, and he just looked so slow, like he was just ages by. It just stuff like that I just kind of was like, I don't know.
Yep.
He
Darth
just looked like
Max.
he felt like he was
Sorry.
miles behind the play.
Yeah, and there was something off with him, and he knows what it is. He says he knows what it is. He's got confidence to turn that around. Darth Master early in the video, there's a stream. This is that story, not LeBron. They did mention LeBron in this story, though. But I say to this, bullshit. Not that they're reporting it and whatever, but the Canadians know who they're picking. They do. Are they going to tell us that, though? No, they're not going to tell us that. So it's bullshit, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. They know. If they don't know now who they're picking, are they really going to know on Thursday? Like, what's going to be the difference? It's not like it's 3 months ago. They know who they're picking. That's what I say. I always had comments. That's why I don't know where I am. Dubois was our bet. Wait a second. John, are you a Jets fan? Okay, sorry. Oh, Drouin. Okay. Because you said Dubois, and we'll go, oh, maybe you're a Jets fan. Drouin was our best player before he got injured for... Listen, it was a short sample size on that. Could he have kept it up all season? I don't know. I don't necessarily need to knock Drouin or anything. It's just I'm going by the history of the last few years. He's just not there at the end of the season for whatever the reason. It's been different reasons every year, but he's not there consistently now.
Yeah, and look, I think.
I like this comment. Go ahead.
No, I think. I lost my train of thought now. Thanks, Rick.
I'm sorry.
No, but no, I think for me, if Drouin was healthy, right, and consistent, I think his strength would be playmaking because I still believe he's one of the best passers on the team.
Yeah, no, that is his strength.
And I think if he can actually stay healthy before the and play to the deadline, I think teams will see that and go, you know what, we might make a move here. But yeah, no, just the issue is he's not healthy because I think a team would want that. I think a team would want his playmaking ability, his passing ability, because we've seen it. He's not going to score goals. Yeah. I mean, he might not 10 goals, but I think a good number for him assist wise. I think you can pencil him in for 35, 40 assists.
Yep, definitely. No, Drew
start on the ice.
He just his ability to stay on the ice for the whole season in the last 3 years has been not there. So that's my concern there. But Joseph, hey Joseph, thank you for finally posting. Thanks. Good to have you here. Grant McCagg says Montreal is going to draft Slavkovsky. Should we believe him? This is what I say about Grant. It's his opinion. Should he be beat up for his opinion? Not really, but this is why people are upset about Grant McCagg. He has the magazine recruits. I think a lot of what he's doing is trying to build up people to follow him and then subscribe to his magazine. I don't know 100% that he believes that Slavkovsky's the guy, Montreal's. I think it's a lot like clickbaity kind of things, personally. So, because he's talked well about Wright. I don't know. The one thing I'll say, I saw his name, dealt with him a little bit on Twitter. He always came across to me as somebody that was in his, at very most, early 30s. He's not. He's my age. And that surprises me in that the maturity level I don't find is always there with this guy. And that's it. It surprised me to see, guys like my age or older. And, so that was it. But it's his opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. I don't know. I don't believe him. He has put out a couple of things on Twitter saying, scouts are telling me this, and scouts are saying they're hearing this. He's making that shit up completely. He's going like this. Oh, look what I got. Oh, scouts are saying. Like Trump, people are saying. He does that. So his credibility is sort of iffy. Anyways, that's what I got to say. Go would like to see what Drouin could do with Shane Wright. If they click and Drouin produces a bit, it could boost his price for the trade deadline. Yes. Something we're all assuming? I think we're making an assumption, and it might not turn out that way, is that Shane Wright's going to stick with Montreal for the season. That might not happen, and don't be disappointed or surprised if it doesn't happen. He may need another season in junior. He may need that.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to see how that works out. I feel he will stay here for sure 9 games. I think that if we pick him, he'll stay here for 9 games. I'm quite sure of that. It's beyond that. I think it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. If he's ready, he'll stay. If he's not, they'll send him back. And rightfully so. If he's not ready, send him back. John Wayne says Caufield will sign $6 to $7 million for 8 years. Yeah, 7+.
Yeah, I think 7 to 8.
Right.
I think maybe a little bit less than Suzuki, but in that ballpark, I'm thinking probably
Right.
7.5 over 7,
I'm-
7.5 over 8.
That's
That's my number.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, you know what? They're best buds, Suzuki and Caufield. I think they signed them to pretty much the same contract, like almost like literally the same numbers. I kind of have this feeling, so we'll see. But yeah, they're signing Caufield to more than $6 million. John, you're right. If he scores 40 next year, it'll be up at the $8 million mark, right close to that. But I still, again, Suzuki's just below it. He'll be the same money as Suzuki. Hey, Julie, how you doing, Julie?
What's up, Julie? I think you need to check your stats, Mark, because he has more than 27.
No, he scored 22 last year, and he had 5. No, he's talking regular season goals. No, he's right.
Oh, right. Well, regular season, yeah.
I think he's right, but that's right. And you're talking about a season and a third, something like that. So that's not bad for a rookie. You're talking about a rookie who had a rough start to last season. No, I'm fine with that, Mark. I like Caufield. I'm fine with that.
Well, not only that, but I mean, look at who we played under last year for the first half of the year.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
Ducharme didn't let him do his thing. St. Louis came in, let him do his thing, and he scored what? 20 of the 22 goals.
21 of the 22 in 30 games, I think.
So there you go. I mean, if that's an indication of what he can do, I mean,
I'm taking it.
That's what, a 40-ish goal pace, a little more than 40 for the whole season.
Joseph, you are giving Grant McCagg way too much credibility there. If you think that this Jersey thing that we're talking about flipping assets like that, if you think that's coming from him and Jersey's going, oh, he's talking about it, maybe we'll do that. No. That's a rumor that's out there with the flipping Jersey being interested in getting Montreal's first pick so they can guarantee they get Slavkovsky. I don't think it has anything to do with Grant.
If what we just said is true, I don't think this makes sense. If Caufield had 21 of his 22 goals under St. Louis, I don't know how that makes sense.
Caufield was on pace to get 1.5 goals under Ducharme. If he was on a 45 goal pace under Ducharme, or what are we talking again? 25 years? 25 years under Ducharme, Caufield would have had 45 goals. That's how that math works. He had 1 goal in 37, maybe it was 37 games. So he was on pace for a little over 2 goals for the season under Ducharme. No.
There we go. He fixed it.
St. Louis. Oh, okay. Yeah. Under St. Louis, he was on, I think he was higher than that. 21 goals in 30. I'm not sure how many games exactly under Ducharme. I think 30. But I could be wrong. It was 30 under. It was 30 under. No, it was 30 under Ducharme. He only played 30 of the 43 games or something, or 46 games that Ducharme coached. Anyways, whatever that, it doesn't matter. I think the pace was higher than that under St. Louis. I think I had it at something like a 60-goal pace, which he wasn't going to do in his first year. But
Right. I mean, he was second to Bunting in the rookie goal scoring, and he got all his
yep,
goals in the second half of I mean,
yep,
if he continues on that trajectory, I mean, 7.5, 8 million is going to look like one of the best deals in the league in like 5 years when the cap
yeah,
goes up like 10 million.
yep. No, Caufield had a really good second part of the season under a good coach, and I expect that to continue. For the for next season.
And
I don't see why it wouldn't.
Because Marty St. Louis let him play his game, and I think that
He
was
let
the most
everybody
important
play.
thing.
He
Right,
let
but
them
that
play. Yeah, yeah. He did. It was taking away the very complicated, from what I can gather, very complicated system that Ducharme had, and they were all overthinking themselves, and they had to think a lot about what. And by the time they thought it through, they'd already made a mistake, and it was too late. And that was the system that Ducharme had. It was too much. When St. Louis took that away and started giving them the concepts to think about, but not playing under a system, use your creativity, make plays. And that's what they did. And that really worked.
Yeah, and look, I mean, they're professional hockey players. You don't need to make systems overcomplicated. You got to trust in your players to make the right reads, make the right passes, and Ducharme couldn't do that.
Good players will make good reads. Or you got to allow your good players the ability to be in a situation to make good reads. That's why they're your good players.
Right.
That was his thinking, and
because how else are they going to
off.
get better? And sure, I mean, last year, sure, Caufield made mistakes. It was his rookie year. The problem with Ducharme was Ducharme punished him for it, which is stupid.
Which then made the next time he's out on the ice, oh, I can't make a mistake. Oh, you don't want your guys playing like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure his confidence had to be low. St. Louis comes in, brightens up the day. Caufield's like, oh my God, I'm going to play for my idol. And his idol says, yeah, forget everything that Dom wanted you to do. Just go out there, play hockey, play your game, have fun. And we see what he can do. So, I think that's enough said.
Jared says trade Dadonov and a second for Quick in LA. Then trade Quick to Toronto for their first. Yeah, Montreal and Toronto aren't trading, by the way. Not happening. Is Quick even available? Like, I don't even know. But easier said than done is all I could say. Dadonov might still get moved. I just feel the way that Hughes was talking about him didn't sound like it. But then again, he's not really going to let us know what he's got in mind. John, I think Pitlick will get re-signed this summer. I do.
Yeah, and that contract isn't going to be a crazy number. I think you can sign Pitlick for $2 to $2.5 million, maybe $3 million. But
you know what? I'm going to even go. I was kind of up there with my guess for that in an earlier video this year. I think that won't be as high. I think you can get him for under 2, maybe.
That's really kind of where my brain is leaning right now. I'm thinking, honestly, I think for Pitlick, a good number is probably 1.5 million.
I'm thinking Jake Evans money.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1.7, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, right around that ballpark.
I kind of think that is probably where Pitlick will sign, And, don't be surprised if they sign Pitlick 1 season, maybe 2. That's it. From what I'm hearing anyway, that seems to be what people are thinking. People in the know. Not just like, Trump. People are saying. How many first rounders?
I think Pitlick wants to play here too.
Oh yeah, I think so.
So the Pitlick contract doesn't worry me much. It's gonna be cheap. It's that'll get done. Like we said, I think probably 1.6, 1.7 in that ballpark. Nothing more than 2.
Yeah, Well, they can't afford it. I don't think they can give them that higher money than that. Papour, when is the draft on Thursday? Thursday is round 1. Friday is round 2 to 7.
Thursday, the first round starts at 7 p.m. We will be live at 6:30. So tune in.
John's going to day 2 of the draft.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty nice. I'd want to go to day one if I was going, but still, if I couldn't, I'd take day two. It'd be cool to be there though at a draft time. That just for that experience, that still would be cool.
Mhm.
Besides, then you get to see more draft picks made because day one you only see the first 32. How do the Habs get out of the Gallagher contract? Time. It might be the only way is time. It's too many years to buy him out. So buying him out, and anybody saying that, it's not an option now. When you buy out a player, it doubles the length of time you have to pay him. So 5 years means now they're paying him for 10 years. The second 5 won't be huge amount of money, but it'll still be money. And they're not buying him out. Time, you got to wait it out or find a trade partner. But I don't know that's going to be easy.
Got to find a laptop charger. I will return in a second.
Yeah, no worries. Although we're going to quit here soon. So how much battery you got left?
Not much.
Oh. Pitlick got basically 40 points. He gets more than 2 and 3, probably 3.5 to 4. No, I don't think so. No, they can't afford. He's going to be a third. First of all, Pitlick's a third line player, so you can't afford. You can't. Shouldn't say you can't, but you can't have everybody on your third line making that kind of money. That's one. He's still. It was his rookie season last year. I don't think he gets that kind of money. Who was given a fair shot here, babe? We're talking about still Pitlick? He was definitely given a fair shot here. And I like Pitlick. I like the performance he gave. But if you look at his numbers and you look at everything, Pitlick is, he's a 35-pointer for the season, I think. That's not $3.5 million money. That's $2 million money or less. Born to be a Hab. I don't have the numbers on that, and I can't. Matt's my guy to get that. I can't do that while I'm on here. I'd say though, I want to say he had somewhere in the teens. I don't know what he had exactly, but I believe he had something like 33, 35 points, 37, 36 points, something like that. 32 maybe. He didn't have big numbers. He had a hot start when he came to Montreal, though. But that slowed down, and that evened out to where he normally will be. John, he can't walk. If we're talking about Pitlick again, he's an RFA, can't walk. So that's not happening. There's no need. They don't have to sign him to a bridge deal. He's an RFA, so he will sign. I don't see more than 2 years for Pitlick right now.
I like probably 1.75 for 2 or 1.75 for 3.
Yeah. I mean, if you're talking about millions, $3.5 million, that's for 2 seasons. That's what I'm saying.
But you're not paying him that period. That's just too much. I'm sorry. That's. I love Rem Pitlick, but that's too much.
Mark Riley, are you serious? That's like giving like when they gave KK $6.1 million. No. What did Pitlick do to get $6 million? That's what I'm asking. He had a hot start when he came here to Montreal. Yes. Did that continue? No, it didn't. He did slow down to what his normal pace would be. And go look at his numbers, and he is under 40 points for last season.
Mm-hmm. No, I think, to me, Rem Pitlick, I think he's just a good depth guy to have on the team. He's the type of depth guy that you sign to a 1.75
with potential too. With potential, because that was his rookie season. Also, remember, he's not a kid. He's 25, I believe. So he's not a kid, not a typical rookie, kind of like Bunting. So. No, he's not getting $6 million. Not even the total of the contract, right? I don't believe Montreal will sign him to beyond 2 years. I think it'll be a 2-year deal, and he's not getting $6 million for those 2 years total. So, yeah, he'll get 3.5 to 4 million over 2 years. Pizzetta asked for a one-way contract. He's yeah, you know what? I don't think Pizzetta's going to get that though. Honestly, I might give it to him though. I like Pizzetta. I hope they keep him. I hope they sign him up, and I think he could stay most of the year. But the thing is, I don't know. I don't know that he can stick the whole year. If a young guy like that, you don't think is going to stick the whole year, I don't see why you sign him to a one-way deal.
Mm.
It doesn't make any sense. So I don't think they're going to sign him to a one-way contract yet. No. Rems says he had 15 goals, 22 assists. I said 36, 37. I wasn't sure in the 30s what. 37 points in 66 games. That's Pitlick. So basically, Rem Pitlick is just over a half a point a game in his rookie year. If he was a 25 or 26-year-old with 3 or 4 seasons in the league, different story. But it was his first year in the league, so no, he's not getting $6 million. John says for Pizzetta, I think 2-year league minimum, one way as a 12 to 13th forward. I still, listen, Evans just last season, before the season, got his first one-way contract. I don't see Pizzetta getting that. Baby says Pitlick got 9 goals, 17 assists, 25 points in 46 games, and is 25. But that's with Montreal. I know he had decent numbers with Minnesota. And I think he had somewhere around 20 points. So I think, yeah. Anyway. I no, not 20 points. He might have had 11 points, 12 points when he got here from Minnesota. Anyways, makes sense. Probably 12 points, and that's 37. Anyway. St. Louis gets fired. Does Caufield keep playing? St. Louis not getting fired, so no need to even go there. Does Caufield keep playing? Of course he keeps playing. All right, I think, though, we're past our time. We'll go for another few minutes, but we're coming up towards the end of this live stream. Shocked as hell to see there's still 37 people with us. I appreciate that. Give a thumbs up if you're here and you haven't done that yet. Please give a thumbs up. I appreciate that as well. He had 10. John, did he have 10 or 11 points with Minnesota? I think he had 11 points. And that would make 37. If he had 26 here, 11 points in Minnesota, and that is 37 points. Anyway, I sign him to a 1 or 2 year deal and then let him go. And let's see what he does. And if he has this kind of, I sign him to a little bit more after that, But I'm not giving Pitlick, here, have all this money off of one season. No, not doing it. All right, I think we're going to end it here because there's no more comments. I don't know. Now, we're an hour and a half in. It's still early enough on Saturday for people to still enjoy themselves. And, I think this is where we're going to call it. So we are this Saturday. Next live stream should be Wednesday. Thursday's the draft. So probably not doing a live stream Wednesday because we're going to be on Thursday pretty early, like 6 o'clock, probably something like that. And I don't know if we're going to do the whole first round. I don't. We'll have to see how things play out exactly to see if we stay with the whole thing or not. But yeah, so we're going to be doing that. So Thursday is the draft. Hopefully you guys will join us for that. I'll have some videos coming out this week. I'm working on 2 right now, as a matter of fact. So hopefully those will come out the next day or 2.
Mhm.
That's it. I don't have much else to really. Oh, I did buy these today. I bought, well, one's for me, but I bought a couple. These are going to be for the giveaway, but this, not just this. This is going to be like, if you win the prize, this will go along with it. But I thought these were really cool. It says Canada, eh?
Mhm.
So I like that. So they're from the dollar store, so they're not expensive hats. But I thought I'd show that to you guys. That's it. I don't know what else to say. I'm just going to babble the rest of the time. Plus, I want to finish watching Stranger Things. I started watching it earlier. Did you watch Stranger Things?
A little bit, yeah.
First, they came back from the mid-season. First episode, an hour and a half. Second one, 2.5 hours. It's an episode.
Jeez.
But I think it ends. I think it ends the season though. So it's 2 episodes to end the season that are freaking long. Me, as an idiot, started watching the second episode, the long one. Got 2 hours in. My friend calls me and says, "Oh, did you watch the hour one before that?" And I went, "What do you mean? It was just this one?" "No, there was an hour and a half, so I had to stop watching that. Go watch the earlier episode. I'm doing that now." Yeah, don't get old and forgetful. But it's pretty good. It's decent anyway. All right, that's it. I'm stopping the babble here. Thanks for watching, really, everybody out there. I appreciate it. Had a lot of fun doing this live stream tonight. Thanks, Matt, for being here as always. And we will both be back on Thursday for the draft. And that's it. Peace out. Peace out. Stay safe out there. And I'll see you next time. So for Matt and myself,
Night, guys.
have a good night, everybody. Ciao, ciao.